Welcome back to Exposure. This episode feels quieter, but quieter doesn't mean smaller.
Yeah, this one feels like a turning point, not a reveal for the sake of it, more like a decision.
Exactly. Because in the first two episodes, we talked a lot about you stepping forward, your music, your story, your willingness to be seen. And somewhere along the way, I realized I've been very good at holding space for other people while keeping parts of my own work tucked away.
I'm going to say this carefully. You help a lot of people create, but you don't often put yourself in the frame.
That's true. And I didn't notice it until this podcast started. I love building systems. I love backing talent. I love helping ideas come to life. But creating something that comes directly from me, that's a different level of exposure. So before I share anything, I want to be really clear. What I'm about to talk about is not a launch. It's not a performance. And it's not a measure of success. This is what creation looked like for me, not what success looks like. That distinction matters.
You've hinted a few times that there are songs.
There are. Once we started to collab, I got hungry to try more. And they weren't written for an audience in mind. It was about learning the creation. They were written because I needed somewhere to put my 100 Google tabs in my brain somewhere. That didn't fit into strategy or planning or productivity. They were fun, messy, unpolished. And I'm sharing a short excerpt today, not because it's chart topping, but because it represents a moment where I stopped hiding behind building and let myself create.
Life on fire, turning sparks into a roar. Got a heart that's wired for a fight, for more, for more, for war. This is my revival. Watch me break every rule tonight. I'm in life on fire.
What matters to me isn't how it sounds. What matters is that it existed. Because creation doesn't always look like confidence. Sometimes it looks like survival.
Listening to that, it feels very similar to where I was before episode 1.
I know. And that's the part that surprised me. This podcast wasn't meant to turn the mirror back on me, but it did. And it made me realize something important. AI didn't make me a creator. It made it harder to hide. AI lowered the barrier. It removed the friction. It gave me permission to try. But it didn't remove the fear. It just meant I had fewer excuses.
That's a big distinction. People think AI makes things easy.
AI makes things possible. The courage still has to come from you. And this is where the podcast shifts. Because the real story here isn't the songs, it's the system that allowed them to exist. What people don't see is that behind every creative moment is a stack of tools, workflows, and decisions. AI didn't just help me write, it helped me think. Structure, prototype, experiment, and that's what we're stepping into now.
This is where people usually tune out, when it starts sounding technical.
Which is exactly why we're talking about it this way. Because AI and coding aren't about being technical. They're about being expressive at speed. Here's what I've learned. You don't need to be a coder, but you do need to understand systems. You don't need to master every tool, but you do need to know what problem you're solving. AI is not replacing creativity. It's removing the delay between thought and action. So if you're listening and wondering where to start, here's the real advice. Learn how prompts shape output. Learn how workflows save energy. Learn how tools talk to each other. Learn how to test ideas fast. Because by 2026, the advantage won't be access to AI. Everyone will have that. The advantage will be discernment. Knowing what to build, knowing when to share, knowing when to hold back.
So this episode isn't about songs.
No, it's about evolution. And knowing that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not rush the reveal, but build the foundation underneath it. Next episode, we go deeper into the tools, the systems, and what it actually looks like to build creatively with AI.
And if you're building something quietly,
You're not behind, you're just in the middle. We'll see you next episode.